Today we're going to be devious. We are going to look at the most mana-expensive ways to cheat in your MTG creatures onto the battlefield, into play. We're going to start off with Omniscience. This is a card. This is actually a card usually people cheat into play to cheat other things into play. For 10 mana, it's an enchantment. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. So technically you're casting them, but like you're not really doing it. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... I have no idea how many cards we can make out of this show. Hopefully it's quite a few. Portal to Phyrexia. If 6 CMC and higher is too hard, then we'll just have to start going down the list. Okay, Portal to Phyrexia. It's a 9-mana artifact. Now, when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. That is absolutely backbreaking. At the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types, so it has been completed. This card is so rude. It wipes your board, and then your opponent starts playing with your creatures. Alright, we got Benovsky, Colossal Dreadmaw. Is this even on top? Colossal Dreadmaw. This is just a vanilla creature. Yeah, this disqualified. I have no idea why you even mentioned that. Okay, it's just a regular creature. It's 6 mana. It doesn't cheat into play. It's literally just 6 mana for a card. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, next up, let's go with Toads with Itali. You gotta be more specific here. There's a lot of Italis. Does any of them cheat anything in play? Whenever it attacks, what is this? What does this one do? Whenever Itali Storm attacks, exile the top card of each player's library, then we cast a number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana cost. All right, and one of them could be a creature. I have no idea if this is the Itali that you were talking about, but I'll absolutely accept it. Okay, next up. Alan, does anti-flash count? We're gonna be pretty loose today, alright? If it is a card that costs 6 mana, and it gets some other creature in play somehow, some way, in a possibility, then I'm gonna accept it. We got a Naya and a 3 generic extra for a 4/5 anti-flash the Veteran. It's a human rogue with flash, as is in the name. Flash is my middle name, or at least one of them. When any Flash the Veteran enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Beautiful! And whenever any Flash becomes tapped, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You can play those cards this turn. Not for free, but that is incredibly great card advantage. Okay, next up, we've got Steve Cooper with the Artisan of Kozilek. The Artisan of Kozilek, it's a 9-mana 10/9. I got many of these in my trade binder. When you cast this spell, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is like, it's like, you ever want to play Reanimator? But you're not in black, maybe you're in green. We just play the Artisan of Kozilek. It is a 10/9 Annihilator 2 that just happens to like get another creature from your graveyard back onto the battlefield. Okay, next up, we've got the super chat from Pacers Fan Forever. Thank you so much. See the Unwritten. Artisan of Kozilek is such a jank card. Okay, 6 mana, sorcery. Reveal the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Then put the rest into your graveyard. You might be you either are gambling that you have got something good on top of your library, or maybe you manipulated the top card of your library. Now here's the thing with Ferocious. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may put 2 creature cards onto the battlefield instead of 1. That's absolutely insane.
No, God, please, no!
That is absolutely insane. Nobody plays this card though. It's like 46 cents. I'm surprised. I mean, it's like, you may put anything, right? You can put a creature card. You could in theory put like 20 power in play for 6 mana. This is like a super collected company, the way I'm interpreting this card. Okay, next up. Let's take From Chen, we got the Spawnshire of Ulamog. The Spawnshire, them Eldrazi's, they know how to throw a party. 10 mana for a 7/11. It's got Annihilator 1. Pay 4, put 2 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have sacked this creature, add 1 mana to your mana pool. Pay 20. You know, it doesn't feel like we're cheating anything in play with this if we're paying like a total of 30 mana in the end. Pay 20, cast any number of Eldrazi cards you own from outside the game without paying their mana cost. It's like, that is the ultimate flex. Outside the game, I cast my entire trade binder. It just cost me 30 mana to do it. Oh, by the way, I get an extra turn off of Emrakul. I'm just curious. Are cards still banned if we are bringing them from outside the game? It's like, it's not like it's part of my deck. This just makes me wonder in Commander. I mean, I know there's outside the game doesn't exist in Commander, but let's say you rule zero it in. Are banned cards still banned? Or can I bring a banned card from outside the game? It's outside the game. It's outside the restrictions of the ban list. You know, it's beyond the restricted zone. The way I look at this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on as the thumbnail. 30 mana! Cheat creatures into play. Okay, next up. Does Mass Polymorph... Oh, I love a good Mass Polymorph. One of my favorite cards. Too bad this is not part of any competitive deck. Blue, 5 generic sorcery. Exile all creatures you control, then reveal cards from the top of your library. Hopefully reveal a good one, because you're going to put creature cards revealed this way onto the battlefield. You put that many creature cards. Sorry, put all creature cards revealed this way onto the battlefield, then shuffle the library. Shuffle the rest of the revealed cards into your library. It's just worded in a weird way. You exile that many creatures, reveal that many creatures, put them onto the battlefield. I love it. Sometimes you just get stinker enablers, but you know what? Usually it's going to be something big. You're going to design your deck properly. You're going to do it better than I did. Mean Brule with the Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears is a 6-mana sorcery. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Now, if you return 4 or more non-token permanents you control this way, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Return all non... Oh, I see, okay. I was just thinking, you could end up, like, putting back into your hand the card you're about to, like, cheat back onto the battlefield. So this is interesting. Okay, it's basically a Boing. It's a Cyclonic Rift with the possibility of us throwing back onto the battlefield a big banger. So cool. It's a trap! Christopher B with Summoning Trap. Okay, we got... It is a green 4 generic trap. If a creature spell you cast this turn was countered by those greasy counterspell players. I'm one of them. Or an ability by an opponent. You may pay 0 rather than pay Summoning Trap's mana cost. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This is Magic the Gathering trying to steal Yu-Gi-Oh's thunder. We got trap cards now. Next up, let's take a look at... Dark Depths does not have mana cost. It has nothing. Also, it's funny, this card doesn't really have mana cost. We're going to cheat this card in play to cheat other cards in play. We're going to get them. We're going to get them counter spells. Okay, let's look at Benjamin's Tooth and Nail. Ooh, the classic way to cheat cards in play. It's a lot of play. 7 mana, sorcery, choose 1. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Or put up to 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. It's got Entwine for 2. You pay an extra 2 mana. You get to look through your deck for them creature cards and put them onto the battlefield at the same time. That's a good deal for only 2... For the low cost of 2 more mana. Pacers fan forever with Vivian of the Hunt. This actually is a combo card. Vivian of the Hunt. Vivian on... Wait, is it Vivian on the Hunt? Vivian on the Hunt. I know this card. Okay, Vivian on the Hunt is a 6 mana 4 loyalty planeswalker. +2, you can sack a creature, and if you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle. Then also +1, mill 5 cards. Then put any number of creature cards milled this way into your hand, and -4. Create a 4/4 green Rhino Warrior creature token. Now, Rhino's going to be a warrior, but most importantly, you can make that Rhino. You can sacrifice it. Look, Vivian calls you and then throws you away to call someone else. That's how Vivian works. Since Tooth and Nail is fair, Smuggler's Surprise. Smuggler's Surprise. Absolutely, it's going to be fair game. Oh, how did Tooth and Nail? That's 7 mana. Look, 7 mana. You see how that much mana? That's 7 mana. Smuggler's Surprise. Not a whole lot of mana over here. I think not enough mana. Only 1 mana. Actually gets disqualified. Close, though. I know what you mean. It's got like an extra... Choose 1 or more additional costs. You know what? I like what you're doing here. I'm gonna count it. I'm just gonna give it to you. Because you have to pay the green, but you also have to pay like an additional 5, so it's 6. It's not technically 6 CMC. You look up on Gatherer for 6 CMC cards. This is not gonna show up in that dictionary. Okay, you may put up to 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. You can also pay an extra 2 for a green and 2 generic. Mill 4 cards. You may put the up to 2 creature and or land cards from among the milled cards into your hand. It's like an artificial Tooth and Nail. And then also the spree for 1. Creatures you control with power 4 or greater gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Bokodi! We got Bladewing the Risen. It was my first commander, and it was neat. This is a red, black, 3 generic 4/4 zombie dragon. Flying. When Bladewing the Risen enters the battlefield, you may return target dragon permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Dragon Reanimator. Don't spells count? Spells absolutely count. I said most mana expensive ways to cheat in MTG creatures. You can do it by any means. It can be creatures, it can be spells. Generally speaking, the card itself needs to be 6 mana or more. Do X spells count? Absolutely not. That's a can of worms I not. We do not open those can of worms on this show. That is for sure. Okay, huge love for Galta. Galta is different Galtas? No, it's Galta Stampede. Galta knows how to stamp. 8 mana for a 12/12 trampler. When Galta enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh god. I don't know what else you have to put on your hand, put into play with your 8 mana being spent on your Galta, but I don't want to know. Okay, next up. I feel like this is the beginning of a combo. I'm going to put this card onto the battlefield, which will mill this many cards, and this card onto the battlefield to bring this card back onto the battlefield, to blink this other card and do a chain of impossibilities. Okay, Toads with the super chat. Since King Ginger is on vacation, are you tight with King Ginger here? Carther Specimens is his in his Andreas? I don't know what you're talking about. Garther Specimens? Gather Specimens? Oh, Gather Specimens. Do you think this is King Ginger's favorite card? Okay, this is a blue 3 generic instant. If a creature would come into play under an opponent's control this turn, it comes into play under your control instead. Interesting. I'll take that. I'll accept that. You're cheating. You're sort of cheating in play. I mean, you're cheating it on your side. It's like an interesting way to think about this card. Vinovsky with the Cauldron of Eternity. Misread the stream's title when I first with the first super chat. Yeah, that one did not make any sense. All right, 12 mana, but it costs 2 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. It is a legendary artifact. Whenever a creature you control dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library instead. Also, you can pay 3 mana, tap, pay 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. The key really is to cheat this thing onto the battlefield. But I guess it's easy to cast if you have if your graveyard is loaded. This card looks insane. 3 mana and 2 life to return anything from the graveyard. I think this card's premium. Premium. Okay, Pacers with Garrick, Caller of Beasts. Six mana, 4 loyalty. +1, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. And you get to put all creature cards revealed this way into your hand. That's value. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. -3, you may put one of those creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. They're going to make a great first impression. And then -7, you get an emblem. Whenever you cast a creature spell, search your library for a creature card. And also put that on the battlefield? Wow, it's got better and better the more I read on. Oh, have the fleshes been reached? Some people like the AI shows. Just a random mage, the bringer of the last gift. Is it a bringer? It's not even a bringer. Look at that. It's a vampire demon. Ha! What kind of bringer are you? 8 mana for a 6/6 flyer. When bringer of the last gift enters the battlefield, if you cast it, each player sacrifices all other creatures they control. Then each player returns all creature cards from their graveyard that weren't put there this way to the battlefield. Ah, interesting. So it's isn't this like a living end? It's like a living end. Except without the weird, like exile all cards from your graveyard, or exile all creature cards from your graveyard, then swap it with the cards that are in play. It's just, yeah, they got around there. Okay, Dangerous One with the Planar Bridge. Got 14 mana. Got milk. You got milk. I got 14 mana. Okay, we got 6 mana. Oh, it starts off with 6 mana. But you know what? Some assembly required. You gotta pay another 8 mana, search your library for a permanent card, and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Absolutely. Okay, next up, we got Bryce with the Apex Devastator. Is it only creatures? Okay, so this, in theory, can hit a creature. In theory. 10 mana for a 10/10 Chimera Hydra. Cascade, 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 Cascade. To stuff your deck with a bunch of creatures. There's a non-zero chance, though, that you hit no creatures and you're just crap out of luck. Alan with the Zombie Apocalypse. I would assume that, like, if you're a zombie deck, I would assume that there's a lot of these types of zombie reanimator cards on this show. 6 mana for a sorcery. Return all zombie creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, then destroy all the humans. Because they can't survive the apocalypse. Dinglebag asked, did we do the root elemental? Let me tell you, Dinglebag, the root elemental is a 6 mana 6/5 elemental. It's got morph of 7, so somehow that's in the cards for you. And when it's turned face up, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Ooh, a one-sided Hunted Wumpus. Yeah, for you. Hunted Wumpus for you. Next up, Pacers Fan Forever. Rise of the Dark Realms, Mass Reanimator. Rise of the Dark Arts as well. Okay, we got for 9 mana sorcery, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. That is a game ender. It's an undisputed. I think this is like the greatest reanimation spell. Like if you don't consider casting cost, this is like the greatest reanimation spell in the game. Just like it's all yours. The world is your oyster. Okay, who haven't I not got to yet? I have not sure if I got to Abzo yet. Aminato. To's Augury. 8 mana, sorcery, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield. A land! Until a turn, for each non-land card type, you may cast a spell of that type. from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. So we exile top 8, put a land for each non-land card type. Oh, like creatures, you may cast a spell of that type. You can cast creatures, instant sorceries, artifacts. I got it. We got it. I figured it out. Is All Hallows Eve expensive enough? All Hallows Eve. Might be 5 mana. It might be 4 mana. This is the most expensive way to cheat creatures in play, yo little Ted. Not the cheapest. 4 mana, that's nothing. That's peanuts. You can get that in play on turn 2 in Commander. Hello, oh my. Did you rename yourself OMG Hello? Z-Man Vader with the Lurking Predators. Lurking Predators is a 6 mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put that card on the bottom of your library. Ooh, you have a choice. One way or the other. So I guess it's for like if you whiff whenever an opponent casts a spell. Wow, that's dangerous. Your opponent casts spells. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put the card on the bottom. What? Hold on. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top. Oh, wait, sorry. We're revealing the top card of our library here. That makes perfect sense. Okay, next up, let's look at Eerie Ultimatum. From Islarf. Thank you very much. Eerie Ultimatum. Big chunky card at green, green, black, 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 white, white. It's a sorcery. Return any number of permanent cards with different names, which includes creatures, from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is, oh, is this just like a better, what's it called, version of the Dark Realms card? Because you can get anything here. It's not just creatures. You literally take everything. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from, oh, sorry, it's only your graveyard, though. Okay, so that's the only sad part. Still good. Still great. Doing any number of permanent cards with different names. Isn't in Commander, isn't that just like your whole graveyard? Like all your permanent cards? They do a little self-mill. Yeah, I know. It's like this card's absolutely bonkers. Everything is gonna have a different name. Nothing can have the same name. Eureka's 4 mana. It's gotta be 6 CMC plus people. We need mana expensive cards. That's the key here. I think there's a bunch of Eldrazi Annihilators that let you steal opponent stuff. Stealing isn't good enough. You know, it's got to come into play. I don't mind it. I don't mind you commandeering something while it's on the stack, but you can't just yoink something from someone else. That's not really cheating anything. Okay, Endless Obedience. Hold on, I'm just curious. Eureka. That's... Yeah, it's 4 mana. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. I just wanted to be sure, West Coast Games. Just in case I forgot. Okay, 6 mana sorcery with Convoke. So it may not actually be 6 mana. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. This is a cool card because like you could put this in your like zombie deck, vampire deck, what else? Like any token deck, and then reliably just cast this for 2 mana and reanimate something. And then like they're not gonna see it coming. 2 mana. I guess reanimate is only like 1 mana. So, you know, so there are some reanimator cards that are very cheap. 2 mana, it's probably the going rate for a reanimation spell. Turiat with Sphinx Ambassador. I didn't know there was a Sphinx Ambassador. 7 mana flying, 5/5. When it deals combat damage to a player, search that player's library for a card. Then that player names a card. If you search for a creature card that isn't the name card you may put onto the battlefield under your control, then that player shuffles their library. That's interesting. So like you're incentivized to like basically go get their 3rd, 4th, or 5th best card so that they name wrong. What is in my pocket? Bilbo Baggins. Dangerous one with the super chat. Thank you so much. Fold into Ether. Did we do this one? Hold on. Fold into... Maybe we didn't do this one. Fold into Ether your own Autochron Worm. 4 mana. Well, anyway, it doesn't work. It's 4 mana, not expensive enough. Counter target spell if you do that spell's controller may put that creature card from the hand into play. Doesn't make any sense. You're like literally casting the card. That makes no sense whatsoever. Even if this was 6 mana. You're not even like, because you're not cheating anything. You're like casting your own card and then countering it. I guess just making it overly more expensive than this should be. Look, King Ginger isn't on vacation. King Ginger's right here. Sphinx's Ambassador is one of your video thumbnails from when I suggested it. Oh, really? I don't remember. Okay, next up, let's go with Hexanaut. Last March of the Ents. Green, 6 generic. Sorcery. It can't be countered, though. Counter spells just bounce right off this spell. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. That's wild. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness? So you like basically can draw 10 and then let's just spew your hand onto the battlefield. Very clever card. Hinaria, I love this one. The Angel of Glory's Rise. There's a jank human combo with this card. 7 mana for a 4/6 flyer. When Angel of Glory's Rise enters the battlefield, you exile all zombies, then you return all human creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very, very niche removal if you really need it. Imagine playing this against your friend that has a zombie deck. Like, it just clearly shafts them so hard. Poor zombie players. Stranda Mage with Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. Master of a lot of things. Okay, we got you dirty rat! You Tezzeret. 6 mana for a 5 loyalty Tezzeret. Creatures and planeswalker spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. +2. Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control, and you gain X life. -3. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. -8. Exile the top 10 cards of your library and put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield, which can include artifact creatures. Maybe a little, what's it called? Blink Moth Colossus. That's not the name of the card, but you know, the big infect creature. King Ginger says, I am still on vacation. Be heading home Sunday. I hope you're enjoying your time on vacation. Glad you can still see the show. I can't believe you're taking some time out of your vacation to still be part of this. Well, let's next take a look at... We did Tooth and Nail. Oh my god, hello. Nuclear Yoshi. Shieldred. The Whispering one. Ooh, 7 mana for a 6/6 Praetor. With Swamp Walk. It's not to be underestimated by the people who have swamps. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is insane! What, every turn? At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacks a creature. This card is insane! Yeah, it's worth like at least $10 and reprinted like crazy for good reason. This card absolutely is broken. I would never want to see this on turn 1. Or turn 2, or turn 3, or turn ever. I don't like looking at it. We did excess stuff. We did Omniscience. I started the show with that card. And it's the halfway point. That means we gotta thank our sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to go buy my Magic the Gathering cards. The deal of the week this week. Remember, you can still get in on this deal. Save 15% off old Time Spiral retro and remastered sets. A lot of big, expensive reanimating cards out there. Probably. Maybe. I actually can't verify this. I have not looked at it. Is there a Shieldred? Is there there's a Secret Lair version. Does that count? Time Spiral. No. Time Spiral? Okay, it doesn't exist. But you can still get Shieldred. Just want to have 15% off. But I'll tell you what, no matter what you buy, you're going to want to buy from FusionGamingOnline.com because you can get 5% off all your purchases using coupon code Nikachu at checkout. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Build any deck you want, any format. Oh my god, did Modern and Pioneer just get upheavaled. Thanks to the bans, and you don't have to be worried about bans when they never ban your cards and are only banning the Mana Traders cards. You can support the channel renting online using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_25K. And back to Shieldred. Well, hello there, Shieldred. You look fine and dandy. Obake says, first time joining the chat. I hope to contribute. Would Ice Cauldron count? Oh my god. This is one of those cards I've read 20 times and I still have no idea. As it doesn't cost CMC, but takes forever anyways. Nope, it must cost CMC 6 or greater. Welcome to the show. Your first disqualification, but it's not the first. But everyone gets disqualified. Even seasoned users like King Ginger. Haunted Voyage. We did Rise of the Dark Realms, but we didn't do Haunted Voyage. Haunted. This is not it. Is there any? Okay, hold on. Let me look up all the Voyage cards. Does anyone know what King Ginger was on about here? Now, there's a lot of other Voyage cards. Oh, Haunting Voyage. Haunting is a black 4 generic sorcery. Choose a creature type. Return up to 2 creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this spell was foretold, return all creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield instead. And you can foretell. So you can, like, I don't know, morph the thing. You know how foretell works. It's all morph. Everything's either kicker or morph in my mind. That's just how Magic the Gathering works at this point. Don't worry, we figured it out. I know my hat. I've done this show long enough that I just trust that you know one of the keywords, and then I can just look that up. Okay, who? Okay, Jess with the Dragon. Put something in play when you attack with your dragons. There's always gotta be an Dragon. Is it this one? Then yeah, it's this one. Okay. Wooburg and 4 generic for the 10/10 dragon avatar. There's always got to be there's always one dragon fam person in the chat. Eminence, as long as the Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield. Other dragon spells cost 1 less to cast. Flying. But whenever one or more dragons you control attacks, you get to draw that many cards. And then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield, which is absolutely devastating. That is good value. Morph is just kicker you can pay in different parts. You might be on to something, Islarf. You might be on to something. I think they are unique enough. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little drunk. Coffee and MTG, under the influence. Good lord, Eminence gives me the creeps. I hate Eminence. Oh, it's awful. Okay, Exesta. Ooh, Gyruda. Doom of the Depths. This is a card. Okay, 6 mana for a 6/6 Doom Kraken. It can be your companion, so long as your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana costs. When it enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyards. Then put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. And this is a great blank target. You blink, you get more stuff. Everything is kicker, you know. I don't think that's entirely true. Are lands kicker? Are they? No, they're not. So not everything is kicker. Worst mechanic, Eminence or Companion? Probably Eminence. I think Eminence is worse, in my opinion. Benjamin Berkeley with Protein Hulk. It's 7 mana. But when it dies, you search your library for any number of creature cards with total mana value 6 or less and put them onto the battlefield. Who has... I can't tell if anyone's got a card. Okay, we got Miss Paint Fanboy with the Lorcan Warlock Collector. I'm gonna collect your souls. It's a 7 mana 6/6 Devil. There's gotta be some sort of sound effect I can have for this. Flying, whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may pay a life equal to its mana value, and if you do, put it onto the battlefield under your control. Ah, how the tables have turned! It's a warlock in addition to its other types. If a warlock you control would die, exile it instead. They were tempted by the devil. They sold their soul. Actually, I don't know what the lore is here. It sounds like they tempted them. But the devil always tempts you, isn't that true? Kana with Dragon Storm? Dragon Storm. 9 mana, search your library for a dragon permanent card and put onto the battlefield. Not only that, you can like storm off. That's absolutely crazy. I play 9 spells, then play Dragon Storm. That's it. You can all resign now. It's got a combo off, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It's not at random. I can put any dragons I want on the battlefield. Okay, next up, let's take a look at a super chat from Spectral Maniac. Thanks so much, Spectral Maniac. Selvalas Stampede can get a lot of value in EDH. 6 mana sorcery, the Council's Dilemma. Now, starting with you, each player votes for wild or free. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. For those creature cards onto, put those creature cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. Starting with, but you're gonna get at least one thing in play for free because you get to vote for free. Jess is like, I smoke concentrated weed goo. What the hell is that? And it does nothing to me but make me not bored. Very strange. You're immune to all things THC? Sounds like you just built up this insane tolerance. Bugro Fun with the Dreamland Shaman. Do we have Kirby's Dreamland in this game? Is it Dreaming Shaman? Dreamland. I'm just gonna look up Dreamland. Dreamland. I don't think this is it. Dreamland. There is no such thing as Kirby's Dreamland in Magic the Gathering. If I look up Shaman, it's gonna be too vague. It's gonna be tons of shamans. Is there one that has called Dream something? Dead Bridge. Dream Shaper. Dream Shaper Shaman. It's a 6 mana 5/4 Minotaur Shaman. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 3 mana and sacrifice a non-land permanent. Now, if you do, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. We're just gonna have to, we sack a card and we're gonna spin the wheels. What we're gonna get, we don't know. Don't worry, Burgo Fun, you're gonna learn to, well, what can I say? There's a lot of seasoned users in chat. They misspell the cards all the time. You're gonna see even today, they misspell the cards. Okay, Jonathan, it's called Distillate. You're talking about something in chat? Distillate. Or this is a card. Okay, I think you're talking about something in chat. Matty Madsen. When is this Distillate gonna go through? Yeah, there's nothing. Lord of the Void. Got kind of expensive since 2013. I have like 6 of these. Oh, you cashed in big time, didn't you? 7 mana. I want to say I own a few of these. 7/7 Flying Demon. Whenever Lord of the Void deals combat damage to a player, you exile the top 7 cards of that player's library, then put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield under your control. Everything become demon. Everyone likes to hang out with a demon, don't they? Let's go with... Toast is like, I'm the king of typos. Sometimes I catch your typos. Teamer with the Ancient Brass Dragon. 7 mana for a 7/6 Elder Dragon. Flying. Whenever Ancient Brass Dragon deals combat to a player, we are going to roll the 20/20. Whenever you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from graveyards onto the battlefield under your control, where X is the result. What the hell? So, like, you just, like, if you roll a 10, you're basically regurgitating your entire graveyard. That's insane. I'm probably late. You are late. We did Emergent Ultimatum. Emergent has been done. I copy / paste to avoid spelling it wrong. I think a lot of people have the same strat. Sheilin with push / pull. You know what? Actually, yeah, the what's it called? The split cards. They have CMC total of what both of them are. So this is technically 8 mana. Destroy target tapped creature from push, but for 6 mana, put up to 2 target creature cards from a single graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. They gain haste. until end of turn. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Donna says, oh my god, dude, my bad. I was talking about the guy's gooey goo. I don't have any made-up cards, so hopefully I understood the premise. All right. Who has gooey goo in the comments section? Obake, thanks for reading my message, and Nikachu, it's made by... You're welcome, Obake. You're welcome. The more you contribute to the show, the greater the chance you would be part of the show. That's the whole point. You post stuff. Did anyone not get a card yet? I see a lot of regulars here. I think I got everybody. There's no super chats right now. Toilet Duck, Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus Carlson? No, this one's a tactician. Magnus Carlson's also a tactician, I'll have you know. Okay, this is 7 mana for a 7/7 robot. Magnus Carlson plays like a robot. Only some people are going to know what I'm talking about. More than meets the eye. You may cast this card converted for 5 mana. Ward 2. Whenever Ultra Magnus attacks, you may put an artifact creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. If you do, convert Ultra Magnus at end of combat. I'm not going to look at its transformation. I just trust. You get to cheat something in play. Welcome, Michael Ing. Dinglebag. Sepulchral. The hell is this? Sepulchral. Sorry, it's Sepulchral Primordial. This show is getting harder and harder by the day. Okay, we have 7 mana for a 5/4 avatar with Intimidate. When Sepulchral Primordial enters the battlefield, for each opponent, you may put up to 1 target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Samurai says, is the audio mono or my headphones not working on one side? I think your headphones aren't working on one side. If it was really mono, I think a lot of people would have spoken up at this point. Magnus Carlson, is that the guy from Boogie Nights? No. I don't think you'd ever find him there. Next up, Islarf, the Wondrous Crucible. Your beloved! You love the Wondrous Crucible. 7 mana artifact. Perms you control have Ward 2. This looks like such an old card. It's got the old frame, and it's got, like, very old-fashioned art. At the beginning of your end step, mill 2 cards, then exile a non-land card at random from your graveyard. Copy it! You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. There's a lot, there's a lot of chance being risked today. There's like no guarantee to get a creature card onto the battlefield, but it's possible. Sunshine the Cat says, Magnus is that guy who's really good at checkers. Close enough. You know what? I like that answer is fine with me. I'll take it. Okay, Christopher B with Virtue of Persistence. Oh, this is 7 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. But it also has Lothwain Scorn for 2 mana. Sorcery. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn, and you get to gain 2 life. Got a little bit of removal spell. I want to say someone played this against me once. It was like a decent removal spell. Oh yeah, and Pioneer. The Pioneer Cascade deck, which is not Cascade. It's that fixed Cascade thing. Pedgeman, how do you never have a card until like the very end? We did Protein Hulk. I don't think we did Thunderous Debut though. Or maybe Pedgeman, you always show up at the end. Okay, 8 mana for a sorcery. You get to bargain. We're gonna make a deal here. You may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast this spell. Look at the top 20 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them. If the spell was bargained, put the revealed cards onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put the revealed cards into your hand. You gotta be bargaining around here. Okay, Prime Jaders. These have probably been done. Look, okay, so yeah. See, some people like Prime Jaders and Pedgeman realize, you know what, they're a little late to the show here. So they're just gonna spam out like 4 ideas, and one of them hasn't been done. I don't know if we did Eerie Ultimatum. Oh, shoot. Maybe it's the Eerie Ultimatum that we did. We didn't do the other ultimatum. Or was the Eerie Ultimatum suggested earlier? I don't remember. Scholar of the Lost Trove, we definitely didn't do. Michael Lang says, I've come to bargain, Nikachu. I have come to bargain. Okay, 7 mana for a 5/5 Sphinx with flying. When Scholar of the Lost Trove enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant, sorcery, or artifact card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If an instant or sorcery spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. Actually gets disqualified. Because we're not cheating in play a creature. So it cheats like spells, but it doesn't cheat creatures. So this one actually gets disqualified, Prime Jaders. The other one was Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, I'm really sorry to whoever I said, oh yeah, we didn't do Emergent. Wow, I'm sorry. I screwed over someone earlier. I don't even remember who it was. Okay, blue, blue, green, 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 black, black. Sorcery. Search your library for up to 3 mono-colored cards with different names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of them. Shuffle that card into your library and you may cast the other cards without paying their mana cost. Exile Emergent Ultimatum. You know, we can just say that was your card, Prime Jaders. We're just gonna say it was yours. Oh, Toads with Bolus's Citadel. Bolus's Citadel. Does not cheat. There's no cheating here. Like, you can dig for it. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, you can cheat in play. Sorry, yeah, you can. So you can, like, okay, you know, I'm gonna accept this. I forgot that you can pay with your life. Which that doesn't sound good, does it? But, like, yeah, well, it works in Magic. 6 mana, you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you can play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay the mana cost. Also, tap, sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. You know, I feel like I lost life. You're gonna lose life with me. Cheat how again? Any way you get a card in play, you know, without actually paying its mana value. You gotta cheat the system, all right? That's what we mean around here. Pabno, thank you very much for your super chat. The better Itali, the Itali Primal Conqueror. Sad that it rotated, and now I have only 1 mediocre curve topper for my Dino deck, plus a donation. Thank you very much, Pabno. Enter the battlefield. Each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. We didn't look at this Italia, right? We looked at the other one. I hope we looked at the other one. Okay, next up. Who's gonna get a delicious super chat from Pabno? I don't know how many cards Abzo got today. Into the Multiverse. You can sometimes tell like who plays with these cards and who doesn't. It was definitely not Into the Multiverse. It was something. Breach the Multiverse? Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. I have no idea if that was the card you were hoping for, but you know what? I looked up Multiverse, and that was one of the cards that showed up. Okay, we got... Ooh, Mason, welcome. Galta. Stampede... Oh, I think Did we do Stampede Tyrant? We did this one, Mason. Sorry about that. Hinaria with the ink eyes. Servant of Oni. 6 mana for a 5/4 rat ninjutsu. So it's ninjutsu for 5 mana. Whenever ink eyes, Servant of Oni deals combat damage to a player, may put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. 2 mana, regenerate ink eyes. Love it. We got a huge super chat from Lava Lamp. Just lurking. Thanks for the great content. Listen often at work. You're welcome, Lava Lamp. I appreciate it. Did time zones change or something? We're seeing a bunch of new people that we've never seen before. All right, those are a bunch. When we say that is definitely going to be at least 5 super chats. Okay, we got Lessian with the Rooftop Storm. Rooftop Storm. Is that the blue card? Oh yeah, this one. Six mana for an enchantment. You may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for your zombie creature spells that you cast. All your zombies for the low price of $0. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Peshman's just throwing a bunch of cards here. Look at the Warp World. Is that 6 mana? Oh, it's more than that. 8 mana for a sorcery. Each player shuffles all permanents that they own into their library, then reveal that many cards from the top of the library. Each player puts all artifact, creatures, and land cards revealed this way onto the battlefield, then does the same for enchantment cards. Put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom of the library. The weird thing about this card, you sort of have to like sacrifice everything you have in play for a bunch of other cards you put in play. But the key is to put, I think it counts tokens, right? Each player shuffles all the permanents into their library, but they go poof, but it's still counted. Then reveals that many cards from the top of their library. I think it still counts tokens. You better count tokens. Bill, you got no card yet. Muxus. Holy moly. This card, it's danger. It's super danger. 6 mana for a 4/4 Goblin Noble. ETB, reveal the top 6 cards of your library and put all Goblin cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. That could be like 30 mana worth of cards. What were they thinking when they made this card? It's just completely busted. Whenever Muxus attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each goblin you control. I don't know if Muxus ever got banned, but it certainly got, I think it got other cards banned. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not remembering. Does copying count as cheating? I'll count it. I'll count it, Miss Paint Fanboy. I will count it. Jess with the Woodland Bellower. You want to bellow is how I get Mana Gorger out. 6 mana for a 6/5 beast. ETB, you may search your library for a non-legendary green creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Don't you like just blink this thing? You get like you get a 3 mana card that blinks. Isn't this like a combo? I guess you just can't go for infinite, or can you? There has to be a way to combo this thing. That's how you get Mana Gorger out. I could be wrong. Because you can get something ETB just blinks this, and then go get another thing that blinks this, and another thing just like hopefully empty your deck. We got Hulking Metamorph. From Mrs. Paint Fanboy, or Miss Paint Fanboy. We got 9 mana, 7/7. It's a prototype. You may cast this card with different mana cost, color, and size. You may have Hulking Metamorph enter the battlefield as a copy of an artifact creature. Okay, this one will get disqualified. I thought what it would do was like, I thought you were gonna like name a spell that's like 9 mana, make a copy of something on the battlefield, or like this thing enters the battlefield, make a copy of something else, but it itself is the card. So like you didn't really cheat. This card itself did not cheat itself in play. So this one I'm going to disqualify. Oh, it searches green creatures? You're right. Oh yeah, not many blinkers in green. Oh yeah, well that doesn't work. My idea fails instantly. Yeah, we did Portal to Phyrexia. That one was done. We did the Portal to Phyrexia. Obake, Hans Eriksson. Would count if it was only cost 2 more. Oh, I should have read the end of your sentence. Not a great way to cheat stuff anyway. Michael Ing with Belb's Portal. A lot of cards with the word portal in it today. Oops, what am I doing here? Belb's Portal. Belby's Portal. 5 mana, already disqualified. It's gotta be 6 or more. Close. Very, very close. Okay, Miss Paint want to redeem themselves. Season of Weaving. Season of Weaving. This is 6 mana. It's a sorcery. Choose up to 5 paws worth of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. Draw a card, choose an artifact or creature you control. Create a token that's a copy of it. I will count that. And also, 3 paws. Return each non-land, non-token permanent to its owner's hand. We have more ultimatums. We don't have enough ultimatums around here. Genesis ultimatum. Does every ultimatum cheat stuff in play? Or at least the green ones. Red, red, blue, 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 green, green. Sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Input any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield and the rest into your hand. Exile Genesis ultimatum. Alright, let's get back to them super chats. Starting with King Ginger, the Great Aura. I played in every mono green deck. I need more people like you to play this card because I need the stock of the Great Aurora to go up. I have too many of these things in my bulk bin or whatever. Okay, 9 mana for a sorcery. Each player shuffles old cards from their hand and permanents they own into their library and then draws that many cards. Each player may put any number of land cards from the hand onto the battlefield. Exile the Great Aurora. Can't believe how many cards they have that are like this. They have so many in green and red that basically do the same thing. Wipe out your board. Look at the top cards of your library. Spew them back onto the battlefield. Okay, next. Who's had less cards than anyone else? We've got a lot of contributors here. Ooh, Christopher Grove. I don't know if you count unexpansions, but no, I don't. But incoming is one. Incoming. Yeah. If you super chat, I'll count cards like this. Next up, we'll have cheat lands. It's gotta be a creature. We're cheating creatures in play today. Benovsky, don't forget about Sun Titan. Sun Titan is a card. Sun Titan can put a lot of things onto the battlefield. 6 mana for a 6/6 giant. Vigilance. Whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. We got Bell with Debtor's Knell. Thank you very much, Bell. Debtor's Knell. No, we definitely didn't do this one. 7 mana, enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Every upkeep. Hopefully you're still alive by that point. Sadly, when you play this card, you get nothing. The absolute squat. Instead, everyone else at the table, that's what they do. They all know who's the threat. They don't want you taking their cards from their graveyard. Algot, Panglacial Worm. Does this work? 7 mana, trample. While you're searching your library, you may play Panglacial Worm from your library. I don't think this counts. I don't feel like it counts. Okay, we got Ben and Name as 1. It's great for the jank spirit decks. Real jank, because like spirits are more like white and blue, and you're like going green and black. That's like and heavy in green and black. That's like so far out of their color pie. And this is, what is this, 12 mana for an 8/8 spirit. And when Iname as 1 comes into play, if you played it from your hand, which good luck when you did that, you may search your library for a spirit card and put that one into play, then shuffle your library. When Iname as 1 is put into the graveyard from play, you may remove it from the game, and if you do, return target spirit card from your graveyards to play. It cheats itself out of your library. Well, not really. You're paying full retail. It's not like you fetch a land and you put Panglacial Worm into play. You may cast the card. It doesn't feel right. I'm not counting it. I don't care. Okay, next up we got Pabno. Grenzo Crooked Jailer. A very, very crooked person indeed. Real annoying in Alchemy and Brawl. Okay, no wonder I've never heard of this card. It's an Alchemy card! Essentially steals a card from your opponent's deck to play each turn, and also donate 1. Thanks so much. Thank you very much for your suggestion. And then we go, this is for 6/4. Goblin Rogue. When Grenzo enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, heist target opponent's library. What are we swiping this thing? Whose library do I want? Your library. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast that you don't own. Ah! I yoinked your library, and now I can play anything from it for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, let's donate this one to... did I see someone new here? I see a lot of new people here. David! Would reshape the earth. I did not hear what whether lands coming in count. We gotta cheat creatures. The title, reading the title explains the title. Usually. Give it to Fabricio. Mind's Desire for the Storm Comrades. 6 mana sorcery. Shuffle your library, then exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. That's a good deal. Play all those cards. I second Kano's suggestion. Need a third. Where's Kano? Larg? Oh, the boar. The raise boar. This is that. It's like attack and it puts a creature into play attacking, right? It's Ilarg, the raise boar for... Oh, it's 5 mana. Disqualified. Well, that was quick. That was quick and painless. Okay, moving on to Super Chats. Shadowfax underrated. Thank you very much, King Ginger. I play Ishin Broken. Hold on, Shadowfax. Just looking at Shadowfax. Shadowfax, the Lord of the Horses. Do I have a horse sound effect? I do not. Okay, it's this 5 mana for a 4/4 horse. Horses you control have haste. And then also, whenever Shadowfax, Lord of Horses attacks, you may put a creature card with lesser power from your hand. Oh, and this is also 5 mana. What am I doing here? Done. Yeah, I caught myself. Well, that one, it's going to be donated. That's what's going to happen here. Somehow the mana costs are shrinking as the show goes on. We're running out of cards. We're running out of cards here. Let's give to Jasper Rabs with a golden opportunity. This is 3 mana. I'm just getting trolled at this point. I'm getting trolled. Accesta, Karn Liberated. Does this put a creature in play? I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute, maybe. Okay, in a very convoluted way, this might actually work. Okay, 7 mana for a 6 loyalty creature. Now you can go +4 to exile cards from your opponent from a player's hand, but you can also go -3 to exile target permanent, which are creatures. Then you reset the game with -14. Restart the game, leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn Liberated. Then you put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. It actually works. It's a really hard way of cheating cards in play, but it definitely works. Abzo with Red Dawnbringer. Another creature that claims that they are a bringer when they aren't. Okay, it is a 9 mana 4/6 angel. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. For all those angel players. It's weird. It's weird that, like, I find it very strange that white can bring stuff back from the dead. That sounds doesn't seem very flavorful at all. Why does white of all colors have access to that? You know, there's a big difference between waking a soldier up and then bringing them back from the dead. Yeah, it's a miracle. Exactly. We did Rooftop Storm. Bell with Vivian's Invocation. White is healing from the dead. I understand healing. So if you had like 100 toughness and you go down to 1 toughness, you took 99 damage. I understand the healing part of that, or preventing you from dying. But I don't get the whole bringing you back from the dead part. Okay, Pedgeman is like, white equals clean resurrection. You come back normal. Black equals anime dead. Come back as undead and corrupted. Arrgh. Okay, I can buy that. You know what? It's all magic. I forgot. It's magic. It's not like white doesn't have access to magic. Okay, 7 mana for the sorcery. Vivian's Invocation. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When a creature is put onto the battlefield this way, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent's control. That's insane! So, like, we get to cheat a creature in play. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna smack your creature for 1 billion damage. That is bonkers. Ooh, Blaze Wolfnia with the Mind Spring. That does not cheat anything in play. And it's not 6 mana. King Ginger with the Dragon Arch. I don't think we've done that one. Also, I want to give you a different super chat sound effect. Okay, this is also 5 mana. What the hell is going on here? What is going on today? Pull it together, people. We got Jeffrey with the Garrick, Caller of Beasts. Did we do this one? No, actually. We did a different Garrick. Okay, so this one's like 6 mana. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your hand. The rest on the bottom. Did we do this one? I can't tell if we did this one or not. Maybe all Garricks do very similar things. This one's -3. Put a green creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. I can't remember. But anyway, we did it or didn't. There it is. It does work. Paul Rogg, have we done the Scion of Darkness? Which is an 8 mana, 6/6 avatar. Now it's got trample. And whenever Scion of Darkness deals combat damage to a player, you may put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. They were part of the darkness, but now they see the light. Does reducing mana cost does reducing mana cost till it's free count? No, that does not. What are you talking about, like affinity cards? Definitely does not count. Hexenort, the 5 doctors. 5 doctors are better than 4, I guess. I would like to get a second opinion. Maybe a 3rd, 4th, or 5th. 6 mana for a sorcery with kicker of 5. Search your library and or graveyard for up to 5 doctor cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Now, if you search your library this way, shuffle. And if the spell was kicked, put those cards onto the battlefield instead of putting them into your hand. I think we've done Planar Portal. Or maybe not. Did we do Planar Portal? I think we did. We did a bunch of portals. I don't think we did Planar Portal. 6 mana artifact. Pay 6, tap, search your library for a card. Just put oh no, we didn't do Planar Portal because it does not cheat anything into play. It puts it into your hand. Does not put onto the battlefield. That one's a Disqualiferino. Knowledge Pool works here, sort of. Knowledge Pool. Sorry, Knowledge Pool. Don't pee in my knowledge pool. This is 6 mana with imprint. Enters the battlefield. Each player exiles the top 3 cards of their library. Whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, the player exiles it. If the player does, they can cast another card, non-land card, exiled with knowledge pool without paying its mana cost. I absolutely will accept that. 1 bazillion%. I think we did. Did we not do Aminoto's Augury? Pretty sure we did the Augury. What is with the Colossal Dreadmaw? Like, I've gotten that, like, we got that twice today. Is there, like, another card called the Colossal Dreadmaw? Colossal Dreadmaw is just a 6/6 creature. It does not cheat anything else in play. Toilet Duck. Nero, Wild Mage. Okay, 6 mana for a 2/7 is very unusual power and toughness on a card. Human Elf Shaman. Whenever you cast a spell, you may put it onto the bottom of its owner's library. Whenever you cast a spell? That's weird. Okay, okay, whatever. I guess sometimes we can cast our opponent's spells. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. Then, if you don't want me to pee in your knowledge pool, don't get me drunk before I go swimming. You heard that, everyone? Do not invite Jess to your knowledge pool party. It's danger. It danger. Okay, next up. Is X in the cost count here? Absolutely not. That'd be a lot of cheating. A lot of cheating. Fabricio, last March of the Ents. Who hasn't got 2 cards? Who hasn't got 2 cards yet? I think we did this one. 8 mana, can't be countered, draw cards. Yeah, we did this one. Sorry. It has been done. Oh, the Colossal Dreadmaw is a playtest card that lets you cast any creature as a Colossal Dreadmaw. Ah, I get it. Oh, disqualified. Not even a real card. You gotta super chat me for that one. You gotta super chat to get the fake cards on the show. See the unwritten. Uh, 6 mana, reveal the top 8 cards of your library. Oh, we did that one. Damn, we've done everything. Breach the Multiverse, have we done that one? Oh, I think we did Breach the Multiverse. Breaches of the Multiverse? Am I spelling breach? There's not many multiverse cards. No, yeah, we did breach. We did breach the multiverse. Have we gone to? Have we? Is the well dry? Okay, no, yeah, no 2 cards yet. Army of the Damned. Oh yeah, we didn't do this one. Oh, but we're not cheating anything in play. It's just a token generator. Is there something called Brilliant Ultimatum? Lesthien? Brilliant Ultimatum. It's brilliant. Like I had a great idea. Okay, black, black, blue, 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 white, white. Remove the top 5 cards of your library from the game. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. You may play any number of cards from one of those piles without paying their mana cost. Excellent. We're back on track, everyone. We're back on track. Okay, Christopher B says, Guild Feud. I trust Christopher B. Christopher B would never steer me wrong. 6 mana for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent reveals the top 3 cards of their library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield, then put the rest into their graveyard. That's great. You can play cards off the top of their library, then go back and get the stuff from the graveyard. You do the same with the top 3 cards of your library. Now, if 2 creature cards are put onto the battlefield this way, those creatures fight each other. Come on, everyone, get along. Just get along around here. Bell with Arbiter of the Ideal. You like Arbiters, don't you? Okay, this is going to be the last one. This is 6 mana for a 4/5 Sphinx flying. It's got Inspired. When it becomes untapped, reveal the top card of your library. And if it's an artifact, creature, or land card, you may put it onto the battlefield with a manifestation counter. It manifested itself into play. All the Arbiter of the Ideal was thinking about was creatures all day. That permanent is an enchantment in addition to its other types. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Whoops. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to be part of the show, remember we do this weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or super chat so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this show. And giving your suggestions, people like Christopher B, Jeffrey, we got Jasper Srab, Turiat, Teamer, Dinglebag, Jonathan, Paulrog, Bell, Benjamin, Kano, Jess, Nuclear Yoshi, Toad's Whale of Darkness, etc. We have Jeffrey. We have the Blightsteel Colossus, Chris. Where's this? If we can do Guild Feud, does that mean that Scrambleverse counts? Scrambleverse probably does count. Who else do we have? Hanaria, Kano. Did I get Dinglebag, Palrog, Jeff, Benovsky, Jeffrey, Ben, Christopher B. Thank you so much for being here today. So as usual, oh, we got Obake here. Obake, Miss Paint Fanboy, Cameron, Ben. I think I got most of you, despite like Bryce and Toads. Okay, everyone. Okay, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we're gonna keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.